You know what team is 0-2 in the division? The Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
But good for them.
Right.
They did bounce back, and they got a win against the Cardinals, 34-20. Wasn't sure that was necessarily going to happen after what we saw last week against the Tennessee Titans, 27-3. I mean, the offense had been terrible. Ted J. Rowland says, damn okay, Burrow is back. Keen to see if Bengals can push on here. And so let's just go inside the numbers with AWS to start this one right away, because Jamar Chase got going. Let's hold the Joe Burrow conversation just for a second here, and let's look at the numbers for Jamar Chase, because maybe that is in tandem with how Joe got his flow back. 19 targets, 15 catches, 192 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
I love it. Okay. You know me. I've been one that's complained a little bit about the simpleness of the Cincinnati Bengals offense. What did we say last week when we were talking about this? And please leave this picture up on the board here, because I think it's very important to talk about. But last week, remember you heard me saying, like, what are they good at? What is it that you're really good at? Okay, that's going to make teams start to go, wait, we got to stop that. And then you start to open up other things in your offense. Well, here's a start. That's the thing I was encouraged by today. That's, as I was sitting there watching the game, the first drive of the game, not only did I go, wow, that was the best the Bengals looked on offense all year, they're subtly starting to move Jamar Chase around more and more and mess with formations a little bit. And I like this. I can get behind this right here. This is like, it might not be like the Dolphins or the 49ers or whatever, but it looks like to me they're going to go all in on, hey, Jamar Chase is our guy. We're going to feed him the ball until you double him, and then we're going to start to do things off of that, right? Okay, I'm cool with that. I mean, as we see, he's a game changer. But look at all the variety, the routes, where they moved him around, everything there. I think that's a start, at least, to something successful for them on that side of the ball.
It was a career-high 15 receptions, 192 yards, the 3 touchdowns, was targeted on 7 of 9 routes against man coverage, hauling in 6 catches there for 59 yards and 2 touchdowns. He leads the NFL with plus 446 yards over expected versus man coverage since 2021. So when he's manned up.
That's what I was saying right just a second ago, like George Pickens. He's manned up. They go to him.
We wanted AWS to reconfirm what we think about our guy Jamar Chase here. And so, so exactly. Like, stop him. And if you're not going to do that, we're going to keep going to him. And if you do that with a double team or whatever, we're going to do something off
Exactly
of that.
Right. You're going to do that. Okay. Hey, when T. Higgins is healthy or whatever else, hey, great. He'll be back in the fold. Boyd, you want to double him? Oh, it's going to help the run game with Joe Mixon, everything of that. So, yeah, that's where I like it. And here's the big thing, too, right? Now, I mean, we're seeing the Cardinals are not easy. The Cardinals have a good offense. They got some weapons on that side of the ball that are – a little scary, and I like the way they're coached. The biggest thing of the game and why this all happened, right, and it's still not perfect, but Joe Burrow wasn't under assault every other play. It was the first game he got to go through reads, set his feet. The clock in his head wasn't affected to such a degree where he's going, wait, I've been railroaded or blindsided 7 of the last 10 times. I need to get the ball out of my hand. He didn't have that today. So therefore then, okay, I'll let Jamar work a little bit on the 20-yard in cut down the middle of the field or whatever there. So that was, I think the other big part of this. Yeah, the offense got going, the big plays got going, but they opened up some holes in the run game and gave Joe a chance to have time to throw the ball down the field. And Joe did look like he could move better today.
He looked
right.
Way
he was close
healthier.
to almost normal. Like, right. It was. I don't want to say it was normal, but he at least was sliding around, being that slippery SOB that I talk about.
How did that happen? Because he almost looked as unhealthy as he did all season at the end of last game. I guess just a week of treatment can do that for you.
I think it's just progress little by little, and hopefully last week he didn't aggravate it to a point where it set him back. The problem with an injury like that, like what you're saying is, hey, we're good. We play the game. It sets us back 5 days. Now we get okay, can we catch up again to get back ahead of normal? And it looks like he is at least making progress that way. But, that was encouraging. And the big play Bengals finally got off and got going this year, and that was good to see for Burrow and company.
That was Inside the Numbers, powered by AWS. So what do you think? Is Joe Burrow back?
I think they're on the cusp of something here. I do. I don't want to go like too crazy and say they're back, but I do look like they got some culture there as far as a football team, right? They played like the desperate team today in that game. They looked like they were flying around and being more physical. They could be. They play Seattle next. All right, Seattle's let up a lot of big pass plays this year. So I look at that and go, yeah, they're back. But I don't know. After the bye week, they got the 49ers and the Bills, right? They still got work to do. But I just think it's a nice positive step in the right direction. And the biggest thing is if they can just protect Joe Burrow, they're going to be dangerous as hell, regardless. Even with their simpleness of their offense, that's the big thing. But the other thing that's a little concerning, and you and I were texting about this over the weekend a little, right? The Bengals defense.
Yes.
That is the one thing that I look at and go, like, it's shocking to me. He's a great defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo. They're very creative. They might be going a little too much like, hey, we're going to try to squash every play. But they're letting up way too many big plays. It's kind of been a theme for them here through 5 weeks. And even today, it was. So that's something that's a little disappointing, and hopefully they can right that as well.
One other indication that Joe Burrow is healthy, and Pete, if you want to throw the dots up there on that 63-yard touchdown, the second touchdown of the game to Jamar Chase, according to Next Gen Stats, the ball traveled 58.1 yards in the air. That was Burrow's longest completion by air distance of his career.
Wow. I mean, hey, listen, he launched this right here. What'd they say it was in the air? What was
58.1 yards.
58.1 yards. It was a beautiful football. And let's watch it again here. And if you're watching on our YouTube page here, you'll see they're kind of playing cover 2 to one side and quarters to the other side, right? So if you can rewind it, Pete, a little bit there, or just let it play again. 22 with Taylor Irwin right in front of him running the curl route. Well, that's his job to kind of stop that. So again, it gets into a little bit what we've talked about with the Bengals. When they start to get into week 4 or 5 and they start to go, wait, they play this defense versus this formation, they start to call the right plays at the right time, and that's where the genius of Zach Taylor starts to really show up.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what we'll see, because we've seen that the last 2 seasons, and by the looks of today, we might be on a third in a row here going.
Jamar Chase was flying on that play, too. 21.5 miles an hour, the 6th fastest speed by a ball carrier this season.
Whoa.
Second fastest of his career.
Somebody cracked the Dolphins track meet team?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, he's not in the top 5.
At one point today, I think 8 of the 10 fastest plays of the year were all Dolphins, right? So that is unbelievable. And, good for them. Yo, what up, homies? Thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe to Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Right now, we got Sunday pod, right? So you can have it Monday morning. We recap all the action. Wednesday, it's the What the Happened podcast. We're going to get deep in the weeds on the key matchups of the week. And then Thursday, I'm picking games with that jerk Florio. So you know where to find us, homies. Keep watching. Peace out. We'll see you.